Maze Runner: The Scorch Trials came out exactly a year after the original The Maze Runner in 2014, and this was very odd. This was a very unique situation because it was very much done, I'm guessing, like Peter Jackson made the Lord of the Rings films, but also this showed real commitment, as also they wanted to have the Death Cure originally coming out in February last year. This was very unique again because it showed great commitment, which is always great, but it was even a risk because they were never sure that the original Maze Runner would be a hit. And as we take a look at the sequel, I will warn you again, this will have spoilers before I bring you a spoilers-free, as always, review for the final installment for the Death Cure this Tuesday. So after escaping the maze, Thomas, Teresa, Mino, Newt, and the others are taken to this strange facility that is ran by Littlefinger, who is supposedly an ally. And in this facility they are very well accommodated, very well fed, and every night a small group of kids gets called up to be taken into a farm where they can live safely and happily. But Thomas feels that something is off. And after breaking through the facility, through the vents with the help of a new friend named Aris, Thomas finds out they are still within Wicked's grasp, who want to experiment on them since these kids are among the few immune to the disease that has ravaged the world. And after finding this out, Thomas and his friends escape this facility to go out into the Scorch, a barren wasteland that is infested with these zombie-like creatures called the Cranks. For the first hour, the Scorch Trials is as good, if not better, than the original Maze Runner. The film just puts the pedal to the metal. It just doesn't let up. It's a very fun, thrilling ride full of intensity. It just doesn't let up. It's a very thrilling, fun ride full of suspense with a great mystery, and it features a great adventure with our heroes out on the desert. And once more, Dylan O'Brien is great. And I don't just mean a great actor. He is a very good actor. He has proved it since then. But he's a great leading man, both as an actor and as a character. He has a great presence, but also a great warmth to him, which makes him very human. And he can not only do the action scenes very well, but he can pull off the dramatic and most subtle moments as well. And I was really impressed by him in this film. Wes Ball once more shows great prowess at using every environment in the film to the advantage of the story, and he creates for great visuals. The running and chase sequences are once more extremely riveting and intense, but the action in general is well done. The stunt work in here is worthy of praise. Throughout the film you see the characters going through the ringer, but also the actors, you see them getting down and dirty. They are full of dirt, they do not look good, they do not look healthy. It's just great visuals that make for a believable world and environment, and it creates for a very entertaining film. And after getting chased and running away a little bit by the Cranks, they finally find this facility. And it's once they find this facility and meet Jorge and Brenda, who want to find out more stuff about the right arm, this supposedly opposite faction to Wicked, that the movie suddenly stops. Because in here we meet this faction led by Santiago Esposito, and then our characters get separated, leaving only Thomas and Brenda for us to follow throughout the film, and then until the third act, nothing really happens. We follow Thomas and Brenda as they go through the desert to try and find some people that have information about the right arm that they need. This creates for two significant problems that I have with the film, because this takes up the majority of the film. One, I don't believe for a second that Thomas will die. Not for one single second. In fact, the movie doesn't even make that much of an effort to put Thomas directly in danger in this section. And number two, Brenda. Rosa Salazar is good in her role. I have no problems with her as an actress. But I don't give a shit about this character. I don't give a shit about Jorge. I don't give a shit about her. Throughout the film, there's never any development for me to care enough about them. They are never even fully fleshed out characters. And at one point during the film, they get to this weird party that Alan Tudyk is having. Almost feels like an excuse for Thomas to take this drug that gives him very convenient visions, and it's just very forced. You see, it's a very abrupt shift between a very fun sci-fi action post-apocalyptic adventure thriller to this acid trippy slow drama where nothing really significant happens. Not only that, but the cranks also turn CGI all of a sudden despite being practical for the first hour of the film. The first hour is filled with content, but it's very methodical about it, like any good thriller should be. And all of a sudden it loses it all, like it doesn't have a story to tell to make up for the entire runtime. Thankfully, the film does pick a little bit back up once they find the right arm and they meet Miss Sunday and my good friend Katherine McNamara, and then once they get to the camp of the right arm, they meet Barry fucking Pepper. Yes! Yeah! I'm sorry. I like Barry Pepper. Thomas catches up with his maze mates and tries to put a plan together with the right arm, but suddenly Teresa betrays them in a very out of nowhere and out of character twist, revealing the location of the right arm to Wicked. I forgot to say this in my last review, but I have never read the books, so I don't know how the movies are faithful or how they deviate from the books. But again, this choice, despite being very out of character and out of nowhere, may be fitting to Teresa's character. But then again, in the movies, Teresa doesn't have that much of a character, unfortunately. Wicked comes in and kills a few people while taking others, including Mino, for experimentation, and Teresa rejoins their ranks. And after a while, feeling depressed and desperate, Thomas vows to kill Ava Page himself and plans to infiltrate Wicked with the help of the remaining fellows of the right arm, the few friends he still has with him, and Jorge and Brenda. You see, the Scorch Trials does have a very fun and unique fresh look into this genre as a whole, but despite a very fun, action-packed adventure in the first hour, the film as a whole feels very derivative, like it doesn't have enough story, and I don't think that is a problem that comes from the books. And I don't think that should be a problem if you're deviating from them. The acting is solid all around, and so is the direction. Once more, we have a great lead, but unfortunately he's the only character with any development. And the dramatic weight and stakes of the film never feel like they are there. You never feel like these characters, the one that actually matter, are in any real danger, and the others, you never really give a shit about them. I rewatched this film for the very first time for this review specifically, and despite really enjoying that first hour, the bulk of the film doesn't seem worth it going back to, and because of that, I will have to say that The Maze Runner, The Scorch Trials is fine, but whether you watch it or not, your heart will go on. What did you think of Maze Runner The Scorch Trials? Is it as good as the book? Does it have anything to do with the book? If you have read the book, let me know. I cannot wait to bring you my review for The Death Cure this coming Tuesday, and unlike these geek classics, it'll be a spoiler-free review because of course it is a new release. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the freaking best, my beautiful geekies. I cannot wait to bring you my reviews for Den of Thieves and Maze Runner Death Cure and The Post. And next Sunday we'll come back to the MCU Geek Classics with Captain America, the First Avenger. And so until then, you stay beautiful, you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so we can be geeky united!